Hey, hey, Cuzzo.
Hey, hey, how are
Happy
you?
Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
How are
Happy World
you?
Kindness Day. I'm
Yes,
good.
yes. Happy World
Oh,
Kindness Day.
well,
Oh, yeah, no. Happy World Kindness Day. Thank you for that reminder. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. It's Wednesday. I am still floating on cloud nine of the energy of getting loved on and spending time with my family this past weekend at my cousin's wedding. It was
Yeah.
so amazing, just like being in the space with all my family, and it was for love and seeing cousins and stuff that I haven't seen in over 20 years. um we look like like time froze because, well, you know her, Chi Chi. Shout out to Chi Chi. Like, she looked like she froze in time. I look like I froze in time. Like, it was just so beautiful and so dope. And
Wow.
it was amazing. It was truly amazing. What
I
were you
saw
up
the
to?
pictures. I saw the photos and the images on Facebook. I was all smiles, like, oh, everybody looks so good. Like, you're absolutely right. I'm like, if anybody aging in our family, listen, beige don't age, okay? Because y'all look good.
Yeah, girl, you want to speak about aging? This morning, because I work from home today, right? So, my office co-mates or my office mates today were Jennifer Hudson and Sheree Shepherd, because they work in the other office. And Debbie Morgan, like, if you know Debbie Morgan, Angie from All My Children, that woman is a human vampire. Like, she has been acting for 30 some odd years. She still looks the exact same way. And Sherry asked her, she was like, how do you still look so young? And you know what she says? She says she doesn't carry things with her. She said even as a child, she could get in trouble and get chastised by her mother. And within a few minutes, she was like back smiling, back happy, like, hey, mommy, could I? She said,
Mm.
as a child, I knew not to carry these things. And that's the secret, she said, to her health and wellness, and the fact that she still looks like she's 20 years old, and she's actually, I think, 67. I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, Debbie.
I love that for
So
her.
shout out to that piece, Debbie, for that piece of information today. I just wanted to share with the community.
I absolutely love that for her. Funny enough, I was I stalk Method Man. Like everybody knows I stalk him daily on social media. And I saw this viral post where he was like on a golf cart or some type of cart or whatever, and someone runs up to him and asks, how do you still look so young? How do you look so youthful? And he says, the secret is washing your face every day in positivity. And I was like, come on, sir. Like, because that is why you look like that. Like, you look amazing. So yeah, I love the advice. I love the advice that they're giving people. But there are a couple of vampires parading on Earth as regular human beings. Sade is one of them. Lorenz
Oh,
Tate. Lorenz Tate is another. Like how you still look like old dog with like okay. Clifford, right? So Method Man is definitely looking young. It's
mhm.
one other. Oh, Maya. Like Maya, what are you doing? What Maya? What are you doing? Like what?
Yes, I just, okay. I don't even know. And here's what I gotta say about that, right? They look young and there's no work done. At least nothing visible. I'm nobody's physician, and I don't have access to anybody's medical records. But there are some people who they haven't aged, but you can see that they had a little nip tucks and Botox injections or something like that. But the
Yeah.
people that we're talking about right now, like, undeniably, like, when they were on the line being baked by God, he put a little extra something something in there. But
I
but
want
all we can
some. I
see,
want
I think we have it. You just said it. The beige don't age.
Beige don't age, black don't crack. I'm sorry. It just don't.
Right.
It does not.
Right.
We
But
love that.
before we continue this, right? Y'all know what y'all need to do, right? Y'all still got time. We 5 minutes into the episode. Nobody really missed anything except me and Tima yapping our gums. Y'all know what y'all need to do. Y'all need to like this live. You need to share it. You need to comment. If you over there on YouTube, you need to
That's it.
subscribe so you know when we go live. Yeah, you
And
need to do all that. And then tag a friend, drop a name in here. Tell them who needs to be in the space with us this evening because we are still in the season of gratitude. And so
mhm.
we're going to be talking about ingratitude. So just so that
Yes.
y'all know. But yeah, we got some more gum yapping to do. Because the diamonds are busy.
Yes, we are. We got so much going on. And of course, y'all see it's just the two of us tonight. We are missing our co-host, Melvie, the MV Pen. She is home resting. So much love to her. Y'all send some good vibes and prayers her way that she comes back stronger than ever for next episode. We also want to, before we share all the wonderful things that we're doing as a collective, we want to highlight a diamond in particular. Y'all may know her as Tierra Berry. We call her Sweets Rights here in the Diamond Writer Collective. And she has just been doing so many amazing things, teaching journaling, empowering women to journal for their healing. She has put out multiple journals, notebooks, all the things. So y'all go, Amazon, I believe it's on Amazon. Y'all
Yeah.
go. Y'all can search by her name. If you put in Sweets Rights, that is with two T's. So SWEETTS Rights. You can find her books that way. And then, or you can just reach out to her directly. She is on
Get on
Instagram,
Instagram at
Facebook.
Sweet Rights.
Exactly, as Sweets Rights, and connect with her to get your hands on some of the things that she's created. She has some speaking opportunities coming up. I believe she is our facilitator and presenter this coming Sunday as a part of our November journaling series. So make sure that you, if you have not yet, that you go to the Diamond Writers website and register. Make sure that you tell a friend to tell a gym to come on in the building. She has done hard work to prepare for this, and we want to make sure that we show up and we learn and receive all that she has in store for the teaching. And then I think she has another journal workshop, right? That she's doing on the
Hmm.
20th of November.
Yep. Yep. I'm hopping over into the conversation now because I don't even know what sparked it. Like all of a sudden, and the diamonds was like, "Look, I am doing this and I am doing that." So yeah. So Tierra has coming up on November 20th. And you can find it on Instagram at Sweets Rights or on her website www.sweetsrights.com. She has a journaling workshop coming up in the Bronx, I believe it is, where she will be working with the Parents Association, uh, PS 186 in the Bronx. Yep. So she's there with that. And then we also have my, hold on, let me hop back over here
I was
because
to say Joyce doing some things too.
I was about to say we got a fireside chat coming with Dr. Joyce
Yes.
out in Central Islip, where she is going to be discussing navigating grief during the holidays. Let's come together and find understanding, comfort, and support in the face of loss. Now, we all know, like, for some people, November and December are bittersweet months because,
Mhm.
yes, it's all about family, it's all about coming together. But we've
Yeah.
also discussed how those same things can be a little bit triggering, but then there's
Yeah.
also the sadness that comes along with it because you may have experienced the loss of someone who you love who's not there. So Dr. Joyce is going to be having a fireside chat out in Central Islip about
Yeah.
that because these diamonds be doing the damn thing.
Indeed, they do. Absolutely. They stay going, they stay pouring. They join the collective, they get poured into, they get empowered, and then they go out and they emulate and replicate that. Okay. So make sure that you go out and support them. If you are not sure that you can be there physically, just ask how can you bless them? How can you support? Buy a book, order a journal, give a donation to the cause, do something to support them. So make sure that you all do that. What else do we have coming up with the diamonds? The diamonds are doing so much, as you said. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, y'all see that? Y'all see that?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's for pressure weekend.
Coming to
Yeah.
the New York City area. In May of 2025, it is going to be Pressure Weekend. We got Diamonds and Block, which will be our awards gala, where everybody will be dripping in their diamonds and finest white. We are going to be recognizing people in the community for, and when I say community, we're not just talking about the Diamond Writers community. We mean your community. So
Yes.
go to our website, www.diamondwriters.com. Go and find that tab where it says nominate a person. We have, I believe it is 12 awards up for grabs. You can nominate a person. Once you've nominated a person, go and share that nomination with other people. Tell us why this person needs to get some shine and some recognition. We're looking for teachers, educators, business people, philanthropy,
Mhm.
entrepreneurship, writers. Oh, listen, if
Yes.
you think we missed a category, tell us about
Tell
it.
us. All
But you
right.
know where to go. Go over to the website, even come on over here to any of the social media pages and engage with us. We want to hear from you because this is us giving the award, but it's about you calling out who needs to be recognized. We're just giving the award. You got to
Right.
tell us who to give it to.
Exactly. Yes, Phoenix, that was perfect. That is exactly what we hope for, that you would nominate someone. And we prefer the gems and gents in our communities, churches, collectives, wherever they are, right? The ones that never get recognition, that are never publicly recognized, that aren't big on social media, that don't take the camera with them when they feed the homeless, that's not recording every nice thing that they do for people, right? But those who genuinely serve from the heart, who are pouring into youth, who are pouring into the elderly, who are giving back to the community, who are using their gifts and talents to uplift others, to, build the kingdom of God, whatever they're doing. We want to celebrate them. And like the Phoenix said, if we don't have the category, make it up. We will make it up. Okay. We will
Mhm.
insert the new one that fits the person that you feel deserves it, because we do want to shed light on them. We want to highlight their cause. We want to highlight the work that they're doing and give them the applause that they deserve. So make sure that y'all go do that. Okay. We'll drop the link in the chat. Somebody take care of that. One of my diamonds who was here, go ahead and put that in the chat. Okay. It's diamondwriters.com/diamonds and blanc. And that's EN, not IN. Okay. That's EN. We fancy. We fancy.
Mhm.
Okay.
We drink with our pinkies in the ear.
We say it like this. We
Oh
drink
my
our
god.
Kool-Aid in a wine glass. That's how we act. We real bougie over here. So yeah, so
Girl,
we are excited
speaking
about
of
Pressure
wine,
Weekend.
oh my God, speaking of wine, did you hear Target is bringing alcohol to their stores? I
Who
know
is?
Target.
No,
You
finally.
can get you can get a Targarita at Margaret at Target. So it's a and I'm just gonna say this, right? I love the concept. Like for the most part, that coffee place is because we don't do any free promo here. You want us to talk about you, pay the ladies.
Pay
But
us.
for the most part, you can go to Target and you can get your specialty coffees from that place. But apparently, Target is trying out this whole thing where you can get something called a Targarita, and I'm just thinking that my local Target shouldn't have one because people are very act a fool in my Targets, and they don't need alcohol to to inspire them. But I would like to try one. So if I find one, I will record myself having one, and we can share it there.
Please make sure you tag the Diamond Writer page because they
You got muted. Who touched something? It was that coffee company. They were sitting there talking.
power started flickering. Everything started like, are we gonna shut off or not?
Nah. Yes.
Anyway, I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna check my local Target and see if they have it. I actually went to a wine festival, the Decatur Wine Festival, this past weekend, and I tried all kinds of wines, including California cocktails, which is Snoop Dogg's
Hmm.
spirits. It was only
Hmm.
like $1. though, but it was still really, really good. But I was introduced to some wine brands and vineyards that I had never had. And I said, you know what? This is the Lord. Because I'd be an alcoholic if I was already familiar with any of these brands. I would have such a problem. So I was like, that was God. But it was such a great time, a lot of networking, a lot of great people there, good vibes, and lots of wine. I had such a good time. So yeah. So cuz let's jump into this topic because I think we have a lot to share. We both
Yes.
did our research. We both did our homework. We both studied to show us, show the
I did
people.
my homework this week, y'all. Because if y'all remember last week, I said I wasn't reading that 72-page thesis paper she sent, but I did my own. I got notes today.
She got notes. But do y'all see this? That is the sign of a true writer, of
Because
an
I didn't.
authentic.
Oh no. I see it. I see it. Okay. So right now, for those of you who are tuning in and seeing what's going on, Atlanta down over by where the Queen Pen is, we got some flickering power that's happening. So just give us a moment. But in the meanwhile, I'm gonna hop over into the comments. Let's see who's in the space with us. So we got Jess Cooper dropping some hearts and diamonds. Hey Jess, how are you? All right, so we gonna remove that. There we go. We gonna keep it going with the comments. There go Mel. Mel's joining us. She says, "Love you, ladies. We love you too, Mel." And for those of you who have heard us, I will call Tima Cuzzo. She will call me Cuzzo. This is Uncle Joey. Hey, Uncle Joey, who is the family member who connects us together. Hey, Uncle Joe, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Saying he's so proud of his family, his nieces, and his cousin. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. So while Queen Pen sits there and she works out her technical difficulties, I'm gonna hold down the show the best that I can. So today we are going to be talking about ingratitude. Let's find out where we at. Ingratitude. So this wasn't supposed to be my part, so y'all gotta be gentle with me. All right. So gonna give you the definition. You know, Queen Pen, she's normally the one who gives the definitions and sets the show up with that. And that wasn't my forte, but I'm gonna give you the definition of what ingratitude is. So ingratitude is defined as the lack of gratitude, lack of proper appreciation or thanks for something, such as an act of kindness or help, lack of gratitude. And so we're going to be discussing since we're in the season of gratitude, having ingratitude and where ingratitude comes from, right? What can be the cause of ingratitude? And as we were doing our research, some of the things that came up as the causes of ingratitude could be trauma, childhood conditioning, suffering, and habit. And this got me to thinking personally about some of my work that I have been doing. Queen Pen is back. Yay. Touch your mic so I can make sure I can hear you. Touch your mic. Nope, can't hear you. 1 second. We love y'all for y'all generosity and grace that you always extend to us as we experience our technical difficulties here putting on this show for y'all. Oh, did you freeze on me? Nope, there you go. You just moved. Still give you one moment. Okay. All right. Fatima finishes adjusting her mic. I'm going to discuss the ingratitude and childhood conditions. So I've studied human relations, and in my studies and in my own coursework, I have learned that a lot of the traits that we are born with as humans is something that is literally inbred in us, something that is passed on to us based off of the conditions that our mother was in during our gestation. And so I know for me, my mother was a young mom. She was 16, 17 years old when she was pregnant with me. And one of the things that was a constant in throughout her pregnancy was worry. My mother is a worry wart, right? And so now one of the things that passed on to her through her to me is worrying. But how about this? Who's heard the term about a bitter baby mama? What about the bitterness and being ungrateful or demonstrating ingratitude is being passed on to through the mother to the child. So, Queen Pen, if your mic is working, let me know if you can come in. Can you hear? Can you hear me? You can hear me, but I still can't hear you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that we don't have silence and dead air. So we're discussing ingratitude and it being passed on from the mother through gestation into the child. Okay, so I see you muted. If you unmute, does that mean you can hear? You can speak now. You don't know. All right. Now, quick unmute because you're muted right now. Oh my goodness. This is hilarious to me if you're just joining us because I am normally the one who is experiencing the technical difficulties here. So again, ingratitude being passed on through the mother. And so childhood conditioning, when you're growing up, these are some things that are additionally that is taught to you as you're growing up. We discussed last week, the as a child, if someone gives you something, your parent telling you to say thank you and to show thanks and appreciation for it. But what happens when what you see growing up isn't being taught to say thank you or show an appreciation, but rather being looking down upon what is gifted to you or not showing that appreciation for what's handed to you. And that's part of the childhood conditioning. This is such an awkward conversation. Um, because we're supposed to be going back and forth on this. For those of you who are still in the space, if you have either seen this happen where something is passed on from the mother through to the child, or you've seen the mother or the parents even condition a child to demonstrate ingratitude, please drop that example into the chat. Let me see what's happening over there if y'all are following along with us well, me right now with what I am sharing. Right. So, additionally, suffering when we experience certain traumas or we go through certain things that harm us, we build up this wall where we keep things out. We don't allow certain things, certain people in. And so this can also show up as a form of ingratitude towards the public and people. Hold on, wait, what happened over here? Say it again. No. Should we end the live and then come back in? No. Okay. All right. This is so awkward. This is not a conversation that I was planning on having by myself because I feel like I'm out here talking to myself by myself. And now my internet just froze. Okay, I'm back. Hey, Jess, thank you. Gotta love when the diamonds come in and cheer on us, even in the midst of all of the chaos. Thank you, Jess, for being here and encouraging me, telling me that I'm doing a great job, even though I feel like I am failing in front of the whole world right now. Um, you've ever been in entertainment, they'll tell you if you have a fear of public speaking, like imagine the audience is naked. Nope, right now I'm currently experiencing like I am the one that is naked and everybody can see me and all my vulnerabilities in one setting. All right. So causes of ingratitude. So childhood conditioning, suffering, trauma, habit. Um, a continuation of not being corrected when something when you demonstrate that attitude of ingratitude, no one calling you out on it. So all of these things here can be the causes of why someone in their adulthood or would show up being ungrateful and go ahead, Seema. I can't. I don't know. Me neither. Uh, we gotta laugh to keep from crying about the situation. Listen, show must go on, right? All right. So, in my research in preparing for today's conversation, there were 6 questions that I came across that could help someone who is experiencing ingratitude or questioning whether or not they demonstrate gratitude for for life in general. So one of the first questions was, "What happened today that was good?" Like right now, in the midst of all of the chaos that is happening, we still have to find the silver lining that is what life is. And for me, when I wake up in the morning or before I go to bed at night, I always thank God for the day. Thank you, God, for the day as I go to bed. And when I wake up in the morning, thank you, God, for waking me up and allowing me the opportunity to do better today than I did yesterday. Those are my simple prayers before I go to bed and when I wake up in the morning, because this is me demonstrating what gratitude I have towards life, right? Another thing or a question we could ask ourselves is, what am I taking for granted that I should be thankful for? And so I've heard many people who talk about writing gratitude lists, um, 20 things, 50 things, 100 things, whatever the challenge is, of just things that you can be grateful for. And it literally starts with, oh, thank you for these eyes so that I can see. Thank you for my nose so that I can smell, and my taste buds so that I can taste. Because these are all things right now that if somebody did not have the ability to see, to taste, to smell, they would be considered disabled, right? So thanking God, or thanking, being thankful for the ability to have these, just demonstrates you not overlooking just the very surface things that are within us every day that we often overlook. So, what are some things that you're taking for granted that you're overlooking that you should be thankful for? Thankful for the roof over my head. Thank you for the food that is in my refrigerator. I'm a mom. I cook, and I've had my kids look at the food on their plate and literally turn their nose up at it after I cook. And they're like, no, I don't want that. But somewhere there is somebody who is starving, who is hungry, who would be grateful for that plate of food that my children turned their nose up at. So thank you for the food that is in my refrigerator. Thank you for the skills for me to be able to take these ingredients, these raw ingredients, and make food. Look how simple that is to demonstrate being of thanks. Question number three: which people in my life am I taking for granted? Who in your life right now are you taking for granted? Is it somebody who you always call upon whenever you're experiencing a hardship or a dilemma, and they're always there to be your shoulder to lean on, to be your ear for listening? Who are all, who is that? Is it your preacher? Is it your friend? Is it your coworker? I think I heard sound come out of Queen Pen's mic.
I really hope so.
I did.
Okay. So what I did work, thank God. Well, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish your thought and then I'm gonna go on my little rant. But go ahead, finish
Yes.
your
So yes, I was just going over some questions that I came across in preparing for today's episode that could help evoke a spirit of gratitude and being thankful. So that's where we're going. And Jess, thank you for hanging in there with me. I see your comment. You say you've been doing your gratitude journal for the last 2 months, and it has really made you more appreciative of the little things in life. And thank you, Chantel, for chiming in with encouraging me to that I have got this. So yes, Queen Pen, go ahead.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm glad to be back. I want to thank all the gems and gents who stayed with you and did not leave the show out of frustration. Like you said, it is never easy. But I will say this, y'all, if y'all hate our technical difficulties, go ahead and invest in the show. We could use your coins to get some better mics and screens and things. But one thing I want to say, whenever you are called to teach something, share something, testify about something, you're going to be tested in that area. And so one of the things on my list in terms of ungratefulness or ingratitude is pride. And oh, dang, did my pride want to jump out and say, girl, come on now. You know, you expect better from your show. You know that this is not going to work. But I had to humble myself because that is one of the things we're going to talk about later as a part of the cure. So look at what I had to go through tonight. Listen, I'm just glad to be back. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep it mute until I can keep it cute because I really want to say some things, but I'm not gonna. I'm
Well,
gonna stop.
it's no need to keep it cute and keep it mute right now. We are discussing the causes of ingratitude and ways to combat that. So what you got for us?
Yes, I don't know how much you were able to share with them, but some of the things that I discovered in my research about the causes, I just want to touch on the causes and then we can talk about the consequences. But definitely trauma. Trauma can cause ingratitude. Things that we've
Mhm.
been through can pull us into a space of ungratefulness. You touched on this earlier. I heard you talk about personality traits like envy and narcissism, materialism. All of those things can make it difficult to feel or express gratitude. I also wrote down and again, I know you mentioned this, but early childhood conditioning is definitely a way that we learn entitlement instead of gratitude. Um, also, a big one that y'all know I have an issue with social media is constantly perpetuating self importance and arrogance or vanity. Like it's always about us. And so we really do lose sight of what we should be grateful for because we just feel like everything's about us. And so we're just grateful for us because we're so wonderful and, everything is about us. So, and then one that shocked me in my research, it said need for approval or admiration can make us selfish. And where there is selfishness, there can't be gratitude. And so I thought that
Mhm.
was really interesting, that people's need for approval keeps them from being grateful for what they have or keeps them from showing appreciation and gratitude. And then the last one I had for the cause is suffering. I can definitely relate to suffering. Suffering has definitely caused me to move away from a heart of gratitude or an attitude of gratitude to a more selfish season where I was just really, as you referred to earlier, that bitterness. I really kind of got steeped in bitterness because of what I had gone through and the things that I was suffering from, and it caused me to not see how good God was, and it caused me to not see how blessed I was because I was so focused on what was hurting. And as
Yeah.
you all know, I've said this many times on this show and other platforms that pain makes us really selfish. And so when there is the presence of selfishness is the absence of gratitude. So yeah, so those are all of mine for cause, and given our
Mhm.
time constraints and the issues we had with technology, I'm gonna just go ahead and stop there. Did you want to move into the consequences, or are we skipping right to the cure? Where are we?
No, we can jump into the consequences now because I think that's actually going to be a great one where we can really have some back and forth
Okay.
conversation about it.
Okay.
And the consequences of ingratitude can lead to pushing away those who are closest to you, whether it's you actually being the one to push them away or it's them having to step away from you because how you show up in their
Mm,
lives. Remember, as I was saying earlier, like who are the people who you are taking for granted right now and what it is that they do for you, but
yeah.
because you have, this suffering, you've been through these traumas or whatever it is, and you're in a selfish phase right now. Remember last month when we were talking about that selfish love and everything like that? It could really have you show up as being ungrateful for what those people are doing for you because to you, it's not enough. It's not,
Mm,
it's that entitlement. But
yeah.
then you can also be overlooking the blessings that are there before you. And when you start overlooking the blessings that are there before you, how can you get the next blessing that is attached to that? And
Hmm.
then lastly, it continues to strengthen your negative bias. And then, just as I would say, continues to just exemplify low vibrational energy that is around you because all of a sudden, every little thing becomes so magnified and
Yep.
so big when, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that serious at all. But you're
Mm,
so self absorbed, so self contained into what's happening to you that you
yeah.
don't even realize the impact that that's having on the people around you. And so, those are just some of the consequences that happen when you start showing up ungrateful. And then
Yeah.
immediately the response is people begin to pull away. You lose those blessings, you
Hmm.
lose those connections, you
Hmm.
lose those things that as people we need those human connections and interactions. You lose them. And
Yeah.
so what you thought you didn't have, you actually created your own life.
Yep. Yep. That is so good. That is really good. And of course, we had a lot of similarities in our findings, but I think a big one that stood out to me was the poor choices and the poor relationships. When you are, ungrateful, or you are suffering from ingratitude, you often make choices based on your limited vantage point. You make choices based on a consumption or a fixed mindset. You make those choices from a poverty mindset because you can't really see all that you have. And so your attitude is constant get. consume, you know what I'm saying, secure the bag. All you chase all of these things, these materialistic things, because you don't really see what you have. And the same goes for relationships. You are not invested and you're not present in the relationship, because people who are ungrateful, they can meet someone who 3 years ago they described they wanted as an ideal mate. They get the ideal mate, but because they have no gratitude in their heart, they will be dating while in a relationship, still searching for better. And oftentimes
Mm,
they end
mm,
up they end up losing the person that they really wanted because they were ungrateful and couldn't see all that they had because they were so focused on wanting more. Well, if she's pretty, I can probably get prettier. Or if she's smart, I can probably get smarter. Or if he's, he makes six figures, I could probably get more. And so because of that, ingratitude, you are always on this insatiable pursuit for more, because nothing makes you satisfied. Nothing makes you happy. Nothing makes you grateful. And so I really love the research on that one about poor relationships and poor
mhm,
choices, because sometimes what's in front of you is not enough simply because you're not grateful. It's not because it's insufficient. It's not because there's lack. It's simply because you can't see through the filter of gratitude. You only see it through the desire to have more. And that is a fleshly desire and a worldly desire. And so, anyway, those were two that I really, really loved. Um, and one that I referred to earlier is pride. When your pride and your ego is bigger and louder than your gratitude, you are always going to make egoic decisions and pride driven decisions. And you miss so much. So much is missed when you are driven by pride and when you're driven by your ego. I think, my opinion, I've never read this anywhere. This isn't scriptural. It isn't fact. It's just Natima's opinion. I believe the cure to pride and ego is gratitude. I
mhm,
believe a grateful heart can remove or overwhelm the feeling of pride. It really does hush that voice in you that tells you you're too good for this. Be a little bit more humble. And I think that's what gratitude helps us to do. So
mhm.
those were mine. Those were, I mean, I had more, but those were the ones that I think are really worth sharing with our Jims and Gents tonight. Jims and Gents tonight.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. And then as you were speaking on that, what came to mind is like visually like this black hole where the heart is supposed to be, and it just can't be filled. It can't be filled by any person, any place, anything. Nothing tangible that you can obtain will fill this, because what needs to fill this hole is internal, and it's
Mm-hmm.
starting with the black hole. And so y'all know me, I'm normally not the person who's going to quote Bible scripture as we're discussing our topics, but I did come across where it says the Bible teaches that ingratitude is a rejection of God and can lead to a darkening of the heart. And
Mm-hmm.
so, in demonstrating ingratitude, you're actually turning your back on your
Mm.
source.
Come on. Come on. That is so good. That is so good. And I love that for you. I love that
You
you're
know,
the one.
because I did my homework. I did
I
my
love
homework.
that. I love that for you. I do. I love that for us. I love that for the show. But no, it's so true. It is so, so true. And I think that's what is one of those cultural influences, right? If you grew up in Black church, you've grown up thinking that God is the ultimate punisher or the genie, right?
Mhm,
The sky daddy, as many people have been taught to believe he is. They limit him to being someone who just has this, he never runs out of being able to give you things. And so that is how we approach our relationship with God when we get old enough to understand. We just look at him as like, oh no, you're just a source for things that I want. And we don't really pursue the relationship. And I think gratitude is what takes us from seeing God as a provider to seeing him as God. And provision is just but one element of who he is. It doesn't
mhm,
even scratch the surface of who he really is. And so I love that you share that, because that was such a lesson for me in my walk, in my faith walk, was like being able to envision God bigger than just meeting my needs and giving me things that I want, but that he's like, he's enough to do way more than that. And it made me more grateful for grace, for mercy, for forgiveness, for salvation, for being renewed, for transformation versus a house, a husband, a new car, a new job, blessing my business. My prayer changed from those material worldly things to God, give me more of those intangible things, because that's what
Mhm.
gratitude redirects your heart and it reveals God in a new way. So I absolutely love that you shared that. That was
Yeah.
amazing. So yeah. Yes, all the snaps.
But yes. So that can now lead us. So now that we've talked about where ingratitude comes from and then the consequences of it, let's talk to the people, the gems and the gems that are in the space about the cure and how it is they can shift from having a heart and a mindset of ingratitude to opening up themselves to gratitude, appreciation, and the good, all the positive that come with that.
Hmm. Um, so look, I'm gonna abbreviate my list because I wrote so much, but I would, if I had to just choose two, the first one would be to let go of entitlement.
Mm,
Somewhere in your life, you were taught, you were influenced, or you just caught the mindset that everything you want, you're supposed to have. And I know there are so many preachers out there that tell you what you want, you can have. That's not true. That's not true. And how I know it's not true, because some of you want other people's husbands. Okay. God ain't going to give you somebody else's man. So you can pray that all you want to. It ain't going to happen. Okay. Um, you can't always have everything you want. Some of it's not good for you. And so you'll never get it. But what you can do is let go of the entitlement and instead insert more gratitude and appreciation and surrender your wants to what God wants for you. And that
mhm,
only comes by way of humility. And so, embracing humility and letting go of entitlement go hand in hand. When you release one, you can then open yourself up to embrace the other.
mhm,
So when you let go of that feeling of entitlement that you're supposed to just have and consume and get and receive, and I hate some of those mantras that we make up in Black church, name it and claim it, say it and see it. Y'all should stop that. Y'all should really, really stop that, because that's not anyway. But let's embrace humility, okay? Let's
mhm,
humble ourselves and be grateful for the things that we have. Be grateful for the connections, the opportunities, the people, that you woke up in good health, that you have access to food the way we do. We were talking about that in a conversation. Dre and I, we were talking about like everybody in this country seems to have access to food, even homeless people. We're out there serving. So it's like, I don't want nobody to misunderstand what I'm saying. My point is, we have access to a lot in this country, and we're not very grateful for it. If
mhm,
I'm correct, Flint, Michigan still has nasty, dirty water. We have clean, clear water. There is so much to be grateful for.
mhm,
So much to be grateful for. And so when you embrace humility and you release entitlement, you make room in your life for God to do more. You make room in your life to show up. And last thing I'll say before I hand it back to the Phoenix, when you are humble and you don't feel entitled, other people can sense that energy. And it makes people want to pour into you and pour into your life and do things for you. But when you walk around with this shield of I deserve, or you
mhm,
walk around with this attitude of I deserve, I'm supposed to get, no one wants to give to people like that. No one says, you know what, she's right. She does deserve. I'm going to give her. No, they're going to look right past you, and they're going to go to the person who is grateful for a mention, who is grateful for a tag in a post, who is grateful that someone even stayed on the show with all the technical difficulties. We are so grateful for you. Would we
all
love,
petty y'all. Thank you.
well, listen, would we love thousands of viewers? Of course. But we are so grateful for the faithful few, because it lets us know that our hard work is not in vain, that the things that we are doing to work on ourselves to be able to share it with you is not wasted. And so
Mhm.
that is the two that I'll share tonight, that you embrace humility after you release entitlement. All right, Phoenix,
Mhm.
back to you. I'm done.
Well, what I wrote down as you was were talking were two things that I used to say as a child, and I'm going to give you my mother's responses. I don't deserve this. So whenever something negative was happening or whatever, I don't deserve this. And she said, "Who said? Who said you don't deserve this? Who told you that?" And then the
Mm,
other one is, "It's not fair. No one ever told you life was going to be fair, right?"
ever.
So those are two things that my mother quickly like cancel, cancel, erase this out of your mind. And I think she might have been doing it from a standpoint of what her life had taught her, but not in the sense of a gratitude or graciousness that it should have been dealt with. I don't deserve this. When something negative is happening, when life is life, and for me to sit there and be like, I don't deserve this. Who the F does deserve for life to life on them? Like,
Right.
what does someone have to do in life in order for karma, for the just cause, for this thing to happen to them? There
Hmm.
essentially isn't any like that fathoms like because that's a question that can't be answered. Like
Yeah.
who really deserves to have something happen to them like that, right?
Yeah. Right.
And then the other thing about things being fair, in order to say something is fair, it would have to be level from the beginning. And as people who look like you and I, we already know that this game is stacked against us. It was
Mm,
never going to be fair. So
ever.
all you could do is make the best out of the hand that you were given in life, right? And be grateful for the fact that you were given a hand, right?
Hmm.
Because, you
That
know,
part.
so we have to be able to step away from the selfishness about and the self-centeredness of the me because the it's not fair or I don't deserve this is very about me and not the whole world or like community.
Right.
And I wanted to say, in order to be able to become more grateful, I was mentioning certain things while you were dealing with the mic on overlooking the things that we take for granted. And one of the
Mm,
first things that it says to become more in tune with your gratitude and with being grateful is to tune into your senses.
hmm.
The human body has five senses. Women, we got that sixth one, right?
Yeah.
Tune
Yeah.
into them
Mm,
because they're there for your safety. You were given these things to be able to help you navigate life. Again, which is why I said as soon as you do not have one of these senses, you are classified as disabled because you are not able to navigate the world based on how you were set by the or how things are set by design, right? So
mhm.
tuning into your senses and really getting in touch with your inner self and what you're feeling in your heart that is not self-centeredness, right? Because
Mhm.
I'm an empath. I can walk into a room and be like, ooh, the energy in this place is off. And 9 times out of 10, I could tune in and point to who the person is that's throwing the energy off and
Mm,
immediately take on that and be like, I wish I could just walk up to them and hug and take it out of them, right? That's a heavy thing to carry. And there
yeah.
have been many times where I have wished to not be able to have this thing, right? But I'm thankful for it. I have gratitude for it because I'm able to use this superpower to my
Mhm.
own good. It helps me in my everyday life to be able to look at a situation and be like, I can see all sides of this story.
Yeah.
It helps with me and my work, conflict
Mhm.
resolution, being able to figure things out. So, being able to take a sense, take something that's in you, figure out how to use that tool to help you navigate life. So that was one
I love
thing there.
that.
So I'll pass it back to you in case there was something else that you wanted to add. And then we can hop in because the way the tech was teching, we can hop in later on a live with the people and respond to some comments. and we were
Yeah.
talking about gratitude journaling and all that other stuff. So we can drop some prompts. If y'all want some gratitude prompts, we can drop those. They ain't gonna be nothing but a thing but for somebody to hop onto one of our social media platforms and give a journaling prompt, because you know we love to have y'all right.
All the time. Exactly. And that was literally where I was getting ready to go. I was going to say, like, giving them some practical, some tangible, applicable things that they can do. So that was going to be one of the things I said, doing, keeping a gratitude journal, being intentional to reflect and think about the things that you have. I would also encourage a digital detox. Get off social media for a couple of weeks, because every time you open your feed, you are going to see images. First of all, it's controlled content. So you're going to see what people want you to see, right? They're going to make sure that they're intentional to post the new car, the new house, the vacation, all of the things that they want people to envy them for. But what you're not going to see is the things that they're doing to get it or to keep it, right? And the hard
Mm,
work, or the trifling things that they're doing. I don't know who the people you follow, but a digital detox will allow you the time to reset mentally, emotionally, and reset your nervous system. Because I don't think people realize scrolling, it impacts our nervous system, because you're absorbing a bunch of energy, other people's trauma, opinions, other people's attitudes, other people's perspectives. All of that comes through your feed unwelcome. You don't realize it because you're not clicking saying, I'll accept this, clicking, I'll take this in. You're doing it because your eye gates are portals. And so taking a break from social media will allow you to focus inward and really pay attention to what you have, opposed to envying the car that someone else has, or envying the relationship that someone else has. It allows you to focus on yourself. And so that is something that I would definitely encourage as a part of practicing gratitude intentionally, is cutting off the things that cause you to feel jealous or envious, or make you feel like you're lacking something. The other thing I would say, write letters. It is similar to journaling, but the difference between journaling and letters are intentional to yourself. Hey, let you know why you need to be more grateful, right? It's a practice that I did a couple of years ago, and it was the jump start and the launching pad to me truly understanding how to keep a gratitude journal. Because I would sit with my journal like, well, what do I say that I'm grateful for? My health? Do I say I'm grateful for my home? Like, what should I actually express gratitude for? Everything. And me writing those letters
mhm,
to myself gave me the heart posture and the mindset that I needed to actually write everything that I'm grateful for. I am grateful for things that I had never expressed gratitude for before, that I am now
yeah.
like, wow, God, I really thank you that I'm not a pop off anymore, that I don't feel the need to put my hands on people. Like that, yes, is a sign of maturation, but it's also a sign of intentional work and God's grace. And so those are things to be grateful for. The last thing that I'll say around gratitude, put yourself in circles where people practice gratitude. Be around other grateful people. You'll notice their energy is better. You'll notice that their hearts are pure, that their conversations are polite and pleasant and positive. So surround yourself with other people who have mastered gratitude, because it will influence your behavior and your thinking. When you're constantly around people that's in the pursuit, that feels like they don't have enough and they need more, that is going to be the condition that you adopt. But if you get around people that say, yo, I am so grateful because what I prayed for last year, I have. What I worked for this year, I will have. Like, those are the type of people you want to be around. So those are just a couple practical things that I would encourage you to, go after and for you to consider as you begin to practice gratitude intentionally. That's all I got, Phoenix. I guess we're ready for the gym. Do I have a gym tonight? I don't think I got one.
I got one little gem, right? My one
Yeah.
little gem is this, right? Start each day in gratitude, and each day in gratitude, and you cannot go wrong.
Hmm. That is so good. Yes, yes, yes. She ain't lying, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It really is. I guess my gym is it's not necessarily about gratitude, but something that I've been speaking to multiple people this week. And so I'll just share it with all of you is do things because you want to do things, not because other people are doing things. There are always going to be things that seem off or seem odd, or seem, counterculture or just are not accepted. But as long as you're not breaking the law or hurting anyone, as long as you're not jeopardizing your safety or your sanity, go ahead and do it. There was this reel of a girl getting dressed on her live. She literally put on a tutu and some moon boots and some fairy ears, but she looked so happy. Now, I don't know where she's going. She looked like she was at least in her 20s. So I don't know where this girl worked that she can wear a tutu, moon boots, and some daggone elf fairy ears, but she looked happy. And everyone on her feed was happy for her because of her genuine happiness with her own life. So that is what I want for you, Gems and Gents. Be happy. Do the things that make you happy. I am excited to go see Moana. My daughter ain't even as excited as I am, but I don't care because Moana is my favorite Disney princess. And so part two means everything to me. I ain't waiting on nobody to validate that for me. I'm not waiting on nobody to invite. I'm going because I want to go. So do the things that you want to do because they make you happy. Like I said, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, you ain't breaking no laws, you ain't doing nothing trifling, go and do the things that make you smile. So that's my gem. Do things, do more things to make you smile. And that is it. That's all I got. All right, Phoenix, you can close us out. You got
Well, if you appreciated what we shared tonight, here is our Cash App. We are not asking you to, we are not telling you to, but people have asked, and so this is the answer. $ transparent gem. All love offerings are accepted with gracious and gratitude. So that is it for tonight. Tune in next week for part 3 of this gratitude series. And I think I might sit down to Canva in the next couple of days and create a gratitude bingo card because, the diamonds are into bingo. And we're going to share that on our page. And you can use
it.
that for the rest of the year. Because having gratitude doesn't have anything to do with the month of November. It is a lifestyle. It is not a habit. So,
Yes. Oh, that's good, Cuzzo. It is a lifestyle, not a habit. Period. I love it. And shout out to the Phoenix. Thank you so much to you, my co-host. You held it down through my technical issues, and you did so good. I think sometimes you get in your own way and in your own magic, but you are amazing. So thank you so much for holding it down for us. We really appreciate that. Listen, Gems and Gents, we love y'all. We are so grateful that you continue to come back, that you share this live, that you tell people about what we're trying to do, how we're just trying to impact lives, one gem and gent at a time. And so thank you for all of your support. Make sure that you come back. Come back. I promise my technology will be better, but come back next week. Mel V will be here. I will be here, and the Phoenix will be here. And so until then, y'all know what to do. Continue
remember
to
to
hustle
hustle
and
and shine.
good night.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, I'm supposed to do that, huh?
Everybody.
I love you, I swear.